The story presents Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, who was 2/3 god and 1/3 human. His mother was a goddess Ninsun, from whom he inherited divine virtues, and his father was Lugalbanda, from whom he inherited the mortal nature that leads to death. After wandering the land of the earth and acquiring all human knowledge, he returned to his city of Uruk, where he transferred all his knowledge to his citizens. He recorded his epic life in tablets, which he placed at the foundations of the wall he had erected. His behavior, however, that of the just and the learned, in time he converted. He began to oppress his people and adorned brides to be the virgins, and this caused the citizens to invoke the help of the gods. The gods called a council and assigned the creator of the human race, Aruru, to forge an equal to Gilgamesh, who will be able to stop his oppression. She created Enkidu, who was like animal, lived with wild animals, and drank from muddy water. A hunter, Sangasu, spots Enkidu, who however he uproots his snares and wells. The hunter tells the sun god Samas about the man, and then meets Gilgamesh, where they arrange Enkidu seduced by a temple harlot priestess Samhat as his first step to tame himself. After 6 days and nights of making love and teaching Enkidu the ways of civilization, she convinces him to lead him to the city. Shamhat brings Enkidu to a herdsman camp, where he is introduced to a human diet and becomes the night watchman. Learning from an unknown tormentor that Gilgamesh is preparing to seduce the bride, Enkidu is enraged and travels to Uruk to intervene. When Gilgamesh attempts to visit the wedding hall, Enkidu blocks his way and they clash. After a hard fight with an inconclusive result, recognizing each other's strength, they become friends. Gilgamesh anoints Enkidu his twin friend and introduces him to his mother, the goddess Ninsun. Gilgamesh tries to persuade Enkidu to perform an awesome feat. In order to obtain timber for the construction of monumental buildings, he asks him to go to a very distant and dangerous place, the cedar forest. They would have to kill the terrifying cat-faced demon Hubaba, whom the gods had assigned to guard the forest and become masters of the cedars. Enkidu, who lived in the forest and knowing the power of Hubaba, tries in vain to change Gilgamesh's mind. So the two go to the metalsmiths, from whom they order weapons for the occasion. Gilgamesh then calls an open assembly with the citizens, listening to their proposals, and began with Enkidu for this daring journey. The two friends, to travel this long route, stop every 100 kilometers for food and every 140 kilometers to sleep. Before going to sleep, Gilgamesh performs some sort of ceremony upstairs on the mountain, scattering flour. At all stops, Gilgamesh is tormented by nightmares, which he narrates to Enkidu, but he each time reassures him that these are good omens. They continue their journey and reach the gates of the forest, and after neutralizing the Pelocrat, assistant to Hubaba, Enkidu manages with great difficulty to open the gates and enter the forest. The heroes enter the forest. Hubaba, the guardian of the cedar forest, insults and threatens them. He accuses Enkidu, who lived in the forest, of treason and vows to disembowel Gilgamesh and feed his flesh to the birds. Gilgamesh is afraid, but with some encouraging words from Enkidu, the battle begins. The mountains shake with the tumult and the sky darkens. The sun god Shamash sends 13 winds to bind Hubaba, and he is captured. Hubaba begs for his life, and Gilgamesh takes pity on him. He offers to make Gilgamesh king of the forest, cut down the trees he needs, and become his slave. Enkidu, however, argues that Gilgamesh must kill him or risk their lives and to cement his reputation forever. Humbaba curses them both and they finally kill him. The two heroes cut down many cedars, build a raft and return to the city along the Euphrates with the head of Humbaba. The goddess of love, fertility and war, Ishtar, dazzled by Gilgamesh's beauty and epic feat, proposes to him to be her lover. Gilgamesh rejects her because of her mistreatment of previous lovers. Ishtar asks her father Anu, the supreme sky god, to send the heaven bull, Gugulana, to avenge him. When Anu refuses her request, Ishtar threatens to resurrect the dead, who will be outnumbered of the living and will devour them. Anu states that if he gives her the heaven bull, Uruk will face 7 years of starvation. Ishtar promises to provide him with provisions for 7 years in exchange for the bull. Ishtar leads the bull to Uruk and causes widespread destruction. It lowers the level of the Euphrates River and dries up the marshes. He opens huge pits that swallow 300 men. Without any divine help, Enkidu and Gilgamesh, they kill him and offer his heart to Shamash. He is then dismembered, and when Ishtar cries out in rage, Enkidu hurls one of the bull's teeth at her. The city of Uruk celebrates, but Enkidu has an ominous dream.